Cap- Captain Clammy Hands is on to something with the McMahon and Colton 1.5. Let's go. Welcome to Covers His Puck Props with 14-year NHL vet Carlo Colaiacovo, who may or may not be wearing an undershirt underneath that. I'm going to go with no, may not.
Dude, have you seen the weather? Come on, man. What am I wearing an undershirt for?
The weather, it changes every time I go outside. It's plus 0.34 units, not a losing day. If he trailed the Nemestikov point that we added later in the afternoon, once Gabe Velarde was out, much more profitable. That was plus 130. All odds coming via Sports Interaction. Happy Connor Bedard Series 2 Day.
Hey.
What are you doing for that? I heard you're doing something for that. Are you just out there shaking hands and kissing babies today for Bedard's Young Guns release or what?
Yeah, so I have a good relationship with Mint Inc., which is a trading card company.
Woodbridge? Let me guess. Woodbridge?
Yes, in Woodbridge. Weird. And during the lockout, we used to do live breaks on Instagram where, we'd rip open boxes of cards, right? So it was something that I developed a little bit of a side passion towards, and understanding the business, and seeing the crave and the absolute wildness around, card collecting, the whole hobby itself. And so I started to absorb more information about it. And now that my son is big into hockey, he's a big card collector. So we've collabed, and tonight I'm actually going to be in the store live at Mint Inc. in Woodbridge. And I'm going to be doing a live break where we're opening up a box, a Series 2 box, upper deck 2 box of the 23-24 Upper Deck Series that features the Connor Bedard rookie card, man.
All right, let me test your knowledge. What's the raw Bedard going for right now?
The raw one, $1,500.
Okay, yeah, $1,500.
Yeah. And to think about how crazy that is, that has the same value as Austin Matthews right now. And
no, they're all about the same, like the big guys. So like a raw Ovi, a raw Crosby, a raw McDavid, McCarr, McKinnon are kind of creeping up to that area, and then Matthews too, obviously because of the
Well, did you hear about the bounty that's out there right now for the Bedard?
The 1-of-1, yeah.
The 1-of-1. There's a bounty out there for $1 million. Imagine I hit that tonight.
No. No. I can't hit a 5-teamer. You're not hitting a 1-of-1 in an overproduced.
I'm not going to be opening up the box. My son Leo is, man. So it's going to be
that's awesome. Well,
that's exciting, man.
Today. Appreciate everybody there in the chat. Chat is fired up. Please like and subscribe. If you can, leave a comment down there with the best plays you got rolling. P. Bastana likes the over in Buffalo, Toronto, 6.5. If you're looking at obviously, I think the under's only hit once in the last 10 matchups. Buffalo is playing better defensively, but we got some Nylander love, some Bertuzzi points love.
Hold on 1 second. Hold on. What Nylander are we talking about for 1.5 shots?
1.5 points, bud. 1.5
points. I was going to say, where are you finding Nylander 1.5 shots?
No.
My apologies on that one.
And then Brett Armstrong does chime in and says Buffalo is playing under hockey, and Martin Biron was on your show today talking about how well they have been playing defensively and how well they haven't been.
Your favorite saying, defensive metrics.
Defensive metrics. But they have been playing okay, but we'll get to what old Marty Biron says. And my son has not been exposed to many French Canadians in his life, and we're driving to school, and he's like, what language is that guy speaking?
Oh, Marty?
That's French Canadian.
Nice, yeah.
So Captain Clammy Hands, absolute gem of a play. He liked the Roslovic Rodriguez play last night. Both guys chipped in with a goal. And he's looking at McMahon Colton. There's not a lot of 1.5 shots today, but I absolutely love McMahon. He's shooting a ton right now, and the Ross Colton angle is good. That one together.
Ross Colton is Colorado now, right? He's not in Tampa anymore.
Yeah, second line Colorado. Those together, same price as yesterday, plus 129. I'm on the Ottawa Anaheim over 6.5. Can you talk me off it? FB coach, I might be able to. I would suggest, we'll get to this, waiting until the game 5 minutes before you get your bets in for that Ottawa Anaheim game. We could see some scratched due to trade reasons.
Yeah, there's speculation this morning out of Ottawa that Tarasenko is one of those guys that will not be playing tonight.
They just brought up another winger today,
Matthew
too.
Highmore.
Yeah, so there's a situation there. Chychrun, possibility.
How about the compliment from folks over here? Didn't even recognize me wearing a suit and a tie yesterday, buddy.
I wasn't going to say it because
come on.
Yeah, you're lean on NHL.
This is my morning look, man. I do my radio show here. I'm comfortable.
Lean on NHL Puck Prop. I've been getting emails from the higher ups about the Carlo lean on puck props. We need a suit day. But let's get to it. Buffalo, Toronto. Let's break down the game first. Toronto plays in Boston tomorrow. Buffalo won both games this year, including a 9-3 beatdown in December.
Yeah.
Is that honestly something at this point of the year versus a non-playoff team that Toronto has marked on the calendar, especially with Boston tomorrow?
No, it's one of those games that they've probably, deleted off of the video, storage, because it's one of those games you don't even watch the video. You move forward and you focus on where you are right now. I think for the Maple Leafs, the focus is to bounce back in a winning way, coming off of a tough loss the other night. I mean, I know that you look at the score, it was 4-1. I don't think the Maple Leafs played that bad, but they clearly made a lot of uncharacteristic plays in their defensive end. And I think for them, it's the focus of, okay, we need to clean things up and we need to make sure we're bringing our full 60-minute game against the Buffalo team. Looking at them record-wise, they're probably a team you might want to overlook. But if you look at their last couple games, they play hard, man. They play hard. They're going to – and they have that history with Toronto. For some reason, they have their number. They always get up to play their A game against Toronto, which is what a lot of teams seem to do in this league. But a little bit more respect should be given to Buffalo, considering where their record is right now.
All right, that brings me to the first play. Jordan Greenway, let's go plus money points here. Over 0.5 points, plus 135. Tough spot for Toronto, like I said, sandwiched between the Boston games. Not incredibly worried about this Buffalo game, I would assume. Jordan Greenway's jumped up to the top line with Tuck and Thompson and PP1. Buffalo power play. Biron was talking about how struggling they're getting production on the top line, and that's why we're seeing Greenway jump up with Tage and Tuck. Buffalo power play, 31% last 10 games. Toronto PK, 27th over that same stretch. He's been on the top line for like 3 games. He has a point, but his time on ice is up about 2 minutes. Big 6'6" guy who has a goal in each game versus Toronto this year. With the moving pieces, with trades and injuries to the Toronto defense, how does that affect their overall penalty kill that, like I said, ranking 27th in the league over the last little bit?
Whose PK are we talking about right now? Toronto's?
Yeah.
Toronto has a 27th ranked PK. Wow, I would have never thought that.
71%.
Yeah. And that might be an area they try to address at the trade deadline too, right?
Depending. Is that like a communication thing with like new guys going in and out, or no?
Or just the type of player that you expect to kill penalties that they don't necessarily have, right? I mean, penalty killers are guys that are willing to sacrifice to block shots, that are, rugged type of players that have to embrace, physicality and a high battle level. And can we really say the Maple Leafs have a lot of those guys? You kind of look at those guys as bottom 6 forwards, guys that check, guys that have, really good routes with their skating paths. And, that's something that has obviously hurt this team this year because of how much they removed from their bottom 6 from last year's lineup. I mean, Kerfoot, people can say what they want, but he was one of their key penalty killers. You remove Ryan O'Reilly, Noel Achari.
David Camp's battling some illness too.
David Camp, not at his best. So I need to even look at their defense. I mean, you're counting on guys like Morgan Riley and TJ Brody and Timothy Liljegren to kill penalties. Yeah, they bring in Lyubushkin. He's a guy that's
Benoit Lyubushkin on the second pair.
Yeah. So I like that pairing, but the first pairing, you kind of wish you had a better fit or a better mold of guys that are described as penalty killing guys. But this, again, you can't really focus too much on what the other team's doing. You just got to focus on things you need to do as a team. And for Toronto, if you know you've got a team out there that is struggling the power play, there's two things you need to do. One, don't take penalties. And two, be aggressive in the D zone. When they're trying to set up, be aggressive when you can so that you're forcing them to make 2 or 3 really good passes. And when a team's struggling as much as they are, chances are they're not going to make the 2 or 3 really good passes to put the puck in the net. So that's the way I would approach it.
Okay, so let's take the
And Brett just highlighted too. Yarncrook is a big PK guy. He's back.
That definitely helps. And that's huge. But he's on the first pair with Camp, who's the draw guy and one of their better face-off guys.
Yeah.
If he can't go, that's a big drop. I don't know who jumps into that role
for Camp. Probably, Gregor or Holmberg, or maybe they use William Nylander a little more. I know they've tried him a little bit recently there.
The penalty play. I love that. I do like that. But let's go. We'll go Greenway for a point here. Plus 135. Did see. I do think the under is probably the sharp side. I think people want to hit that over just because of the matchup, recency, what both these guys have done to each other over the last 2 games. But I think the under might be there. We still don't know who's in net. I would assume Joseph Wall goes today, and then they can get Samsonov in net tomorrow versus Boston after Wall was in net. I believe Wall was in net for Boston, right?
No? He was, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So I think it changes up. Let's get to the other side. Detroit, Colorado. Dylan Larkin is out. JT Compher is not up to that top line. Detroit rolling with Joe Velino on their top line with Kane and DeBrincat, and he isn't even on any of the power play units from daily faceoff so far. Detroit back-to-back losses after that 6-game winning streak, going to altitude to face the Avs, who are the best home team in hockey. Do you know what their record is at home?
It's ridiculous. I know it's the best in the league. It's like what? They only
24-6 or 24-6. That's nuts. Plus 1.67 goal differential per game.
Wow.
It's number 1 home offense.
Well, doesn't McKinnon have like a 20-game home, or he's recorded a point in every home game this year?
We'll get to that. We'll get to that. 30 every game so far. So we got JT Compher, revenge angle for anybody out there. He spent 7 seasons with Colorado, won the cup there. He's back second line, PP2. But what does losing your number 1 centerman like Larkin do? We obviously know the offensive ramifications, but what does that do on the road defensively versus McKinnon, who could have some very easy matchups versus a team that's not very deep down the middle?
Well, and that's going to be the challenge for Detroit, is how do you match up against McKinnon when you're missing your best center iceman in Larkin, who would probably draw that matchup? Well, you're going to ask guys like Andrew Kopp, Veleno, Rasmussen.
But would you be comfortable leaving the 4th line? Like it's Kopp, Klim Kostin, and Daniel Sprong. Are you comfortable?
No, as a coach, you're not as your ideal matchup. But I think you go into this game, and what you have to do is earn the trust of your players, right? You're probably having a discussion with the players and saying, look, we're probably not going to get the matchup that we want every night, but when you're out there against these guys, we expect you to do the job. And as a player, you receive that, and you try to make the best of it. I know I always relished those opportunities. I always welcomed those opportunities. And when I got them, I always make sure that I was at my best, as much as I could with those responsibilities. So it's going to be a challenge. It's going to be a challenge, not just matchup wise, but altitude and, with the way Colorado's clicking on offense right now.
Just seeing, we got a lot of eyes on this live stream right now. Just do us a quick favor, hit that like button, make producer Mick a very happy man. But Nathan McKinnon, I mean, we're square. We went square yesterday, McDavid, but that's what he can do, right?
It was 1-0. It was 1-0 with 30 seconds left.
59 minutes.
Yeah, he set up the game tying goal, and he set up the game winner. Next thing you know, you got a winner, right?
But now, I mean, you see us. We've kind of been on it. Now we're at Nathan McKinnon here for 2 points plus at even money. He saw what McDavid did last night, and back to what Carlos said, McKinnon has recorded at least 1 point in all 30 home games. He can tie Mario Lemieux and Brian Trottier for the 5th longest streak. Wayne Gretzky holds it at 40 games. So if he gets a point in every game at home, he wins at 41. This is the quote from McKinnon. So just feel good this year on home ice for whatever reason. And he says, so he's tied with Kucherov for 105 points and 65 points in 30 home games. And he has multis in 20 of his 30. Wow. So we're getting even money, which is basically implying worse than a coin flip, but we're getting it.
Well, here's the thing. If he's on that point streak right now where he's recorded a point every home, you feel confident he's going to get one, right?
Exactly.
And so if you feel confident he's going to get one, there's a chance you get a bonus out there and he finds a way to get another. So, and you don't have to pay much juice on it either. It's even money.
No. So this goes back to you. We've talked about it a lot. Your teammate, Jacob Voracek, who apparently is one of the best human beings that's existed as a teammate in all of hockey. I don't think they build them like Jacob Voracek anymore.
No,
I think
definitely don't.
I think he's kind of the bridge where it's like, I'm going to enjoy my life versus now it's like, go to sleep at this time every day. Don't go out and enjoy just worry about hockey. But he finished 5th in scoring, 14-15, 6 points off the league. He was up there with the big boys with Crosby, Tavares, and Ovechkin. Was that a vocal thing for him? Because I believe you've mentioned that during his chase, like he wanted secondary assists. He wanted to be the last one over the boards for empty netters.
Yeah, I absolutely he did. I can't see why they wouldn't feel the same about McKinnon. There's clearly, and remember, the guys that McKinnon is chasing, Kucherov and McDavid have both won a Hart Trophy. McKinnon hasn't. And it's almost known within the locker room that as close as McKinnon is right now, not only do they want him to continue, putting up points so he can get close to the top of the scoring lead, but I would imagine a lot of the feeling in the room is they know how much this guy means to this team. They want to be part of the investment and the push for him to win the Hart Trophy. So that's got to come from coaches. That's got to come from players. So any chance they get an opportunity to bank a couple more points for him, you got to think that push and that mindset is there for the players.
Okay, so we're going square there for McKinnon for 2 points, even money, and Ross Colton obviously on the Colorado side there. If you want to do that 1.5 over shot on goal parlay with McMahon for plus 129. And then the final game there. This game is so we talked about at the top of the show, and it's just there's so many moving pieces. Ottawa, Anaheim. Ottawa has the worst road record in the East. Anaheim has the worst home mark in hockey at 9-21-1. Ottawa might be calling it quits after the Arizona loss and then following that up with the Philadelphia loss the next day. Anaheim's been at home since March 1st. Win versus San Jose, that big win over New Jersey, and then a decent competitive game in a 2-1 loss versus Vancouver. Both clubs off on the penalty kill over the last 10 games, ranking 30th and 31st. We have Leo Carlson, questionable. He missed Sunday. Mason McTavish, questionable. He missed Sunday. John Gibson, questionable. He missed Sunday. Brady Tkachuk is supposed to return to the lineup, and Ottawa should have both Korpisalo and Anton Forsberg back for choices in net. And then you consider the possible trade stuff. We mentioned that Vlad Tarasenko could be on the move. Here's a quote for you from the boys for Ottawa. It was nice to get out of town. Ottawa, which has lost 4 in a row, did some dry training on Monday by the Pacific Ocean.
Beach workout.
Obviously nice to have a change every once in a while and do something different, defenseman Jacob Bernard Docker said. It's nice to hop in the ocean after the workout. What are the boys doing at the beach? I'm just picturing, like, I don't know, Rocky just sprinting up and down the beach, like, or is it just to clear your head and say, like, whatever? It's kind of
It's just to clear your head and get your mind out of the hockey environment that you're in every day, right? You're trying to change things up because you've been stuck in this horrible, bubble all year of just negativity and losing. And, it's amazing how much some fresh air and sunlight can change your perspective on just not hockey, but life, right? So, you're always looking for, things to change out of your routine for players that may seem like a drag or, may seem like a huge weight, through the course of a season. So I did see that video. It was, pretty comical to see how close they got to it and how in depth they were with their coverage of it. It could have just been a quick mention. Hey, we're doing a quick workout, but no. And sometimes that's all you need to just change the mood and the vibe around a group, where you just stop thinking about hockey so much and just think about, the fun things you can do in different environments that will hopefully, change the little bit of the, result in your hockey setting that you go to every day. So
you're running out to bet Ottawa minus 160.
You know what? I always like finding angles like this. You know me, right? And I think too, just being on the road, like Ottawa's been stuck at home the last couple of days, and they've been hearing stuff on TV. They've been reading stuff in the papers. They've been listening to stuff on the radio about things that are being said about their team and who's coming and who's going. And, and they don't just have to live with that. The family has to live with it too. So sometimes when you just get on the road, you remove yourself from that stuff and you start playing with a different mindset. And, how do you handicap a game with Ottawa and Anaheim? To me, I found it bizarre yesterday that in a game between Arizona and Chicago, Arizona was minus 250. I was like, okay, I get they're playing better right now, but like, how are they that much better than Chicago? I actually took Chicago on the money line, and it was a very sharp play for me. And I almost believe the same thing tonight. Like, take the advantage on the underdog here.
Good thing I typed in Ottawa three-way money line minus 105 as you were talking about it. But there's no, yes, it's nice that they can get out and not worry about hockey, but at the end of the day, they still have to go in there and play hockey.
Yeah, they do. They do.
But I don't know who's going to be there for Anaheim. If you lose, if you don't have Carlson, your top line center, basically, Mason McTavish, I believe he's the other center for the other scoring line. I don't know if he is a pivot. He might be the winger. It's him, Terry, and Vetrano. So he is the center. There's just so many pieces missing. And then you add in the fact that Ottawa could be down at least one of their top six wingers. It's such a hard game to look at. But if people are missing, I think the best chance to go, it could be big minutes for Thomas Chabot. Thomas Chabot's paying plus 120 for over 2.5 shots. We know Anaheim is god awful at giving up shots. There's a lot there. We have the Shane Pinto idea. I mean, is that Stützle paying even money for over 2.5 shots? Like, I think you can go heavy guys because there's going to be bigger minutes.
Yeah.
If Tarasenko's out, there's going to be bigger minutes for top six.
Are we confirmed that Kachuk's back too?
I don't have it confirmed. The preview
because he missed the last game, right? So you wonder
he did miss the last game, but they've been off. The beach training ailed him. Yeah, the beach training.
I don't know, and maybe you could pull it up right now what the line is for Batherson to get a point, but he's been a guy that's been really hot lately for the Senators. So maybe there's value there too.
Okay, I want to get something. I want to get something in stone for this game, and I'm happy to take Batherson if I look at it. I believe he'll be on the. Yeah, let's go. That's the line. I think that's the line that has the least amount of question marks on this team. It's Batherson, Stützle, and Giroux, and then Batherson jumps over to. Where is he? Why is he not on a power play?
Who, Batherson?
Yeah, but Batherson could jump in if Tarasenko's out. So let's go.
He definitely is on a power play. I did their game the other night. I'm just trying to look out. He's been really hot as of late, so I'm just going to get the stats for you.
Yeah. I think if I can get anything at minus 115 or better. Sometimes you got to talk it out. Okay. Yeah. There it is. All right. Minus 120.
Yeah, so he's got 6 points in his last 6 games. So.
All right. 5 points past the byline. I wouldn't go much further than plus 120, but I do want to get something in there There's a lot of moving pieces here. I think bettors have an information advantage if they wait and find out who's in versus who's out and beat the books to some numbers because there could be some big minutes on the other guys. So let's go Batherson for a point at -120. That will be the third play there. Let's call the other one a play too. Let's go McMahon plus Ross over 1.5 shots on goal for +129. We'll call that a play too. And we'll throw that one in there. Just like yesterday, I do like the 1.5s, and I do appreciate Captain Clammy Hands bringing that to our attention there earlier.
He's the top. That's Captain Clammy Hands. That's a nice handle. It's a nice handle.
Great handle. So let's get those in. Let's do a quick recap starting from the top in the Leafs game. Let's go big man Jordan Greenway for a point at +135. Toronto, maybe not thinking about this game with a sandwich between Boston. McKinnon at home, continuing the streak, looking for 31. But we need 2 from him. Let's go. He's got multi-points in 20 of his 30 games at home. And then Batherson, Ottawa, in the late game for a point -120. That's what we're going to take there. We got one more. Sorry, McMahon and the Ross, the shooting combo for +129, over 1.5 shots on goal each. We're going back there. That's what we got today. I'm going to have some content out later today, trying to turn $25 into a Connor Bedard rookie card. Little Connor Bedard inspired Series 2 day content. Right. But hey, like and subscribe that stream. Lots of eyes today. Appreciate everybody there in the chat. Great little community. Appreciate all the sniffers out there too, doing their own thing, sniffing their own way. And that's the important thing. Don't just follow the plays. Learn something, create your own things, find your own paths, find your own bets. Yeah. Nothing wrong with that. But this is what we're on today. Back tomorrow, 10 a.m. And then Carlo's going to be drained. Just trade deadline day is just if you're not Canadian and you don't follow hockey, it's the busiest day in the entire season. Yeah. So let's go. Appreciate everybody there in the chat. Brett, Stir. I mean, everybody who's there all day. Darren, FB Coach. Like and subscribe. Let's leave it at that. I'm Josh Ingles. He's Carlo Colaiacovo. This is NHL Puck Props. All odds being presented by Sports Interaction. Lead us out, pal.
Let's have a night. See you folks tomorrow. Ciao.